Okay, that's okay if you're randomly watching. It's fine. It's fine. Free class. Ah! All right. I'm just getting ready. Oh, you can't see the orange. Okay, so I see. That's why I get ready early, because I can see that that's not very clear. Wonder if this is better. Yeah, much better. Oh yeah. All right. Well, in the description it might say, but I don't know if it has that. If you can see the description, because I can't anymore. The first hour, starting in half an hour, is public speaking for younger kids, and then the second one will be for older kids public speaking, and then the third hour will be for memoirs. So yeah. Now, mind you, the older public speaking is also kind of doing a memoir thing, so they'll be working on that as well. Telling a story. A memoir is just a memory. It means a memory. So as kind of like a story, except it's a story about your life. Are we going to see? No, there's nobody coming over. Not this week. Only just because of what's still going on. So no, you won't see anybody in the background. If I hope not, unless there's ghosts. No people. Just me. Maybe in the future I'll live stream one of our classes. Probably not. No. I'd need everybody's parents' permission to do that, because you're not supposed to live stream or stream kids without their permission. You have to get permission from everybody. Yay. Oh, okay. You want to be a YouTube star because I get so many views. I have 21 subscribers. I'm going to guess one of them is me, one of them is my wife, and the rest of our students. I have more than 20 students, so so not even all my students have subscribed to me. So okay. That's a little bit better. Okay. I guess that's, well, I'll make that a little bit nicer here. Okay. I wonder if the pink shows up. Not really. It's orange and pink I don't want to use. This closer. Maybe I can use it if I need to. You're not going to see me do. Except your Discord. That's right. I did see that. How do I do that? I'm not very familiar with Discord, so so it takes me a while to figure out how to use anything on there. I'm gonna guess you know more about it than I do. Okay. Friends pending. Oh, there you are. Okay. There you go. You're accepted. Not that I use Discord a whole lot, and I don't think I'll be using it today. Yeah. I'm going to sign out of Discord, though. Yeah, I know. It's Maddie. I don't get a lot of pending requests for Discord or anything like that, Maddie. So you were the only one that's new. I'm going to close Discord, though, now because I don't want other students trying to sign into that while I'm doing this. Yeah, now I'm live. Okay, that's only half an hour. All right. Why do we have 2 o'clock right now? You will again in the future. Yes, it's because of the virus. Markham has more susceptibility to it. And because a lot of students from different schools come here, it would be a potential place to spread it if it happened. Okay? And from Anthony's school, it's not a donut, it's just a piece of bread with jam. And yeah, well, yeah, but it's a different bread. And so because there's so many students from different schools and some of the kids that parents and things like that had been back to China recently, even in the Wuhan area, from different schools, we thought it'd be safer to not have people come here and potentially spread it. My wife and kids aren't even home for this whole week. Last week and this coming week, they're not going to be here. So yeah, it's just me at home doing stuff. Nobody's come in the house. So yeah. Yeah, well, it's better safe than sorry because of what's going on. Carmen's from Hong Kong. I don't know if you know. And during SARS, which is a long time ago now, 17 years, Toronto had it pretty bad with SARS, which is similar to the virus now. Yeah, I don't need 40,000. I need 1,000 subscribers, actually. Or 1,000 or 1,500, something like that. Not 40,000, thankfully. If I want to actually make real money, yes, 40,000 probably. 1,000 I can start making money, but it won't be a lot. It will be, I won't want to quit my job. So, yeah. But yes, Carmen's family, Carmen's mother is from Hong Kong. And so she went through the SARS thing. And that's kind of like what's happening now in Wuhan with the virus. So a lot of her friends also in Hong Kong for Carmen. So she was quite scared of what could happen and she wanted to be safe. So yeah, she didn't want any of these potential problems and people getting sick. So $3 for 100 views? I don't know. See, it's not a set rate, actually. That could be the average. But for certain content, it depends on what you label the content. If and this is that also might be before what's called COPPA. It's a law in America. It's about child protection. Right. So if it was before 2020, Selling if I was doing kids content, one, I'd be allowed to have comments for kids. I'd be allowed to advertise directly to kids and have direct ads to kids, and I'd make a lot of money, probably something like the $3 for 100 views. But since 2020, no, I'm not. If it's kids content, you're not allowed. Yes, yeah, like I told you that, but again, that's an average figure. That's for probably the higher paid YouTube revenue. Okay. Yes, and I did tell you about COPA. And COPA, I don't know how. It's an acronym, so it's each letter is a different word. Yeah, and so now it won't be a lot of money if it's kids content. Plus, you cannot comment if it's kids content, which helps people get exposed. I don't know if you can like or dislike or anything like that also on kids content. That's why I had to change my thing from kids content to not, because you can't comment otherwise. I can just make videos, and you can't chat on my videos if it's designed for kids. So I couldn't do this education tutorship thing. Thankfully, I'm not American. I could follow the American rules, but I'm not making money, so I don't care. Yeah, no. I'm not doing this to become a YouTube star, so I'm doing this so we can continue having class and learning and stuff like that. How was school today? Good, I hope. Oh, you also wanted to know about. I replied to your comment about. Oh, good. It's great. I replied to your content about synonyms, antonyms, compare, and contrast. That you can watch the video, but the video doesn't give you a ton of information. It's the handout, and I don't know if I gave you the handouts for it. So the practice with the handouts. A lot of the handout, unfortunately, is only here's some synonyms. Try and find some more that mean the same thing. If you don't know a word, that's usually something that you have to look up. And by looking it up, it's going to help you remember, oh, this means this, and that's a synonym for this, right? So it's a lot about looking up words. I saw something fly by. Yeah. And same with compare and contrast. Now, the handouts for compare and contrast have a lot more information, I think, in them than the synonym and antonym worksheets that I gave out. And I wonder where I put those. I have so many handouts everywhere right now. Yeah, okay, I did give you the match cinema maintenance. Oh, you like my channel? Well, that's good. I hope so. That's good to know. Da, 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 da. Bum, 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 bum. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay, that's okay. I'm got to get ready for stuff anyway. Yeah, there is two humans watching. One's me. I think. I'm not 100% sure. One's you. If it doesn't count me, then I don't know who. Because actually, I can. Oh yeah, it's just me and you. I can check who's on watching. Actually, I have a little button above my live chat. It says participants, and if I click that, then it says just you and me. So, but there's only 5 more minutes before class actually starts, so I'm not really encouraged. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 students. I think it's only going to be 4 at the most, though. Supposed to be on. And then the next hour, I'm not sure if anybody's going to be on either. So this could be a quiet stream. That is my first regular day of streaming. The other ones were just tests. Next hour. Where's the one for this hour? Oh, it's right there. Yeah, I've been on for almost half an hour, and there's just you and me. Oh, again, I don't care. I'm not a YouTuber. I care about people having class, though. Voice. Well, actually. Oh, who's helping film? No one. I have a web camera just attached to the top of my computer. That's it. Can I show the people coming to my class? I don't know how, if there is a way. If there is one way to send out an email, but Carmen's already messaged and contacted people, and it's their regular class times just on here instead. And I've told most of the people about it. I had one of them on yesterday. Who's the other person? Another person tried to get on, and then who's the other person? I should get that closer. I think only 2 of the people will probably show up for this first hour. The second hour, I'm not very confident anybody. There's only 3 in the next hour, though. I did get a new web camera. Before, my first few videos I was doing was with my phone. That was pretty terrible, I think. But this web camera is pretty good. It has a microphone built in. I just had to plug it in and it works. So that was great. Actually, my wife bought it. It's called a streaming web camera. So it's 1080 at 30 frames. So 30 frames is not the greatest, but I'm not doing gaming channel, so 30 frames is fine. It uploads pretty fast. There's not a big delay or anything like that. It's pretty automatic, so I don't have to worry about lighting and field of view. Yeah. Wide angle. It has a double noise canceling microphone. So if you're not very close to it, it won't interfere with the noise, so you won't hear stuff around it too much. Oh, thank you. It looks cool, huh? Yeah. Facial enhancement technology. That I need. So no one's shown up yet. So that's not good. I don't have any emails saying anything about anybody. Although I did set up an account for someone to try and join yesterday, and I made that they had to subscribe to me and has a bell, so they should have got something. All right. No, yeah, I don't know how much it costs, so that's I gotta ask my wife how much this costs, but I don't think it would be very expensive. Online lecture. Ooh. Yeah, people are late. It hurts real bad. I know a lot of people aren't going to come online, especially the younger children are usually not as computer literate or have the abilities. Looks Tessie. Do you mean techie? Isn't TECHY? Yeah, the younger kids don't always know how to work stuff, and so the parents would have to help them, and the parents don't want to do that, I'm assuming. It's for the older kids can continue doing these things, I think. And so I think that's what's going to be happening is that this week I'm mostly just going to have the older kids. I already know my first class that I normally have today, they're not going to be online. And I don't think any of the younger kids are going to join. So, and my first public speaking class, the only two I think would join are grade 5s. So the other ones are younger, so I don't think they'd be joining. So trying to figure out now. You seem to be okay typing. Yeah, I know you're grade 5, but you already seem like you have a little bit more computer experience than some other people, right? So that's a good thing. I don't know how your typing skills are, but if you want to get better at them, what's it called? Typingclub.com. Typingclub.com, I think, is very good, just for practice with a lot of things. So, yeah. I know a lot of students are fairly slow at typing. They're just used to the touch screen, and so they're only using like a thumb or fingers, and it's not true typing with all your fingers. And I learned that when I was in grade 6, I think. We had this keyboard with a little calculator kind of display, and letters would come by and you'd have to type them. And they would get faster and faster and faster. And then when I got to grade 9 high school, I I didn't have to. I took a computers class, which was mostly just typing class. So we would just learn how to type most of the time, which worked out. Your sister. Well, your sister's pretty young though, so my son, he's just a year older, and he types pretty fast for his age, but it would still be considered slow. Who else would you know? I don't think. Who is it that you come to class with? Well, you know Kevin. I don't think he's not the super slow typer, but I'm not. I don't remember. Maddie or Mason and Alan are two other students. I think they're okay. I have this one student, Arik. It's the tree's younger brother. He's not terribly fast for his age, but the tree, I don't know if you know who I'm talking about, the tree, the tall guy. He's really fast. I was worried that he was going to be faster than me. He was 50 words per minute, and I was the fastest I did on the typing club, the one example, because I always use the same example to measure everybody the same. I was the fastest I did on that was 55. But I've gotten as bad as 40 or something like that on it. So I can't always do 40 words per minute, but I had a friend, his mother, she worked as something called a stenographer. And a stenographer is someone who works in a court with the judges and the lawyers and all that. But her job is to type what everybody says. She has to type a minimum, I think, of more than 100 words per minute. I think it was 120 maybe or 150 she did. So, and no mistakes. Like, she has to be perfect. And that's just ridiculous to me. Oh. So, because they have to record everything they say in court. Still nobody. 6 minutes late. All right. I'm super sad. I have another student named Benny. He's really fast for grade 7 student. 30 something, or I think. I better call my wife and say nobody's on except you. At least you liked it, though. That's. I got one like from my one viewer. I'll be right back. Hey, nobody's on except Maddie, and she's not even supposed to have class. Hi. Hi. I just don't want to say nobody's on except Maddie. 5 after class has started. So Chloe, Nina, Yuko, Selena, and Alvin, but I'm gonna guess Nina and Yuko were the only ones that were gonna beam on for sure. I thought, but no, nobody's on except Maddie. She doesn't even have class today. Yeah. Well, I've been talking to her and teaching her a little bit of stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, okay, but it's not the same thing. Like, it's a public speaking class. But I'm not teaching. You want me to teach? All right. Okay. Oh. Yeah. Well, that's might not. I don't know if that's going to work because the problem is that if they miss a class, does that cost money? No. Yeah. I'm not in the room. Okay, I'm not in the room. Well, all right, all right, all right. But sorry. You should. I can't like my videos myself. Oh, so yeah, or at least somebody else liked it. It looks like. No, still no. So somebody else did like it. I can't like my own videos. All right, so I am going to talk about public speaking right now because I might as well. So with public speaking, I wanted to talk about voice today with speed, tone, and volume, body actions. All right, and a little bit of content word choice because that plays into our voice and our body. Okay. Yeah, you did. All right, so I gave some students this handout. Now, I'll probably try and send a link to this, I guess, or email you if you need it. My regular public speaking people got this. All right. And it's action stories with children. And why it's so, I think this is really good for public speaking is because it has some easy scenarios and it goes through instructions about what to do, right? I know you didn't get it, Maddie. That's okay. I'll try and remember to give you a copy. I have a lot of printed out copies as well. So yeah, I think it's a great example because it has a lot of stories that are really easy to think of an action, and that's really important for when we're giving a public speaking is have an action. I know you know what? You're not the only one that's shy. Everybody's shy when they give a public speaking. Even I was, and I can still get shy. I still get nervous and shy, and I've done more than 1,000 presentations. And not like I'm talking about a class or a video, live stream video. Those are also like presentations. I'm not counting those. I'm talking about getting up on the stage more than 1,000, and I still get nervous. If there's a lot of people, if I think they're very important people or somebody I want to impress, I actually get often more shy around family members, like my wife. I get more shy about giving a presentation about what I'm doing because I'm more self-conscious. I'm thinking, oh, what am I doing? Is this good? Is this? And that's part of the problem. You have to partly think it's not that big of a deal, right? It's really important that you don't always go, oh, everybody's looking at me, I'm scared. Don't think like that. I remember when I was your age, because you're in grade 5, I had a presentation and I did really well because I stopped thinking about who I was. I prepared really well for it. I had a costume, a uniform, really, for scouts. I don't know if you know scouts. They wear these kind of dress shirts and a sash and a hat and a kind of scarf thing. And it made me feel a little bit more confident that I was dressed up. And I'd practiced a whole lot. And a lot of people don't practice enough. And that's the biggest thing about being shy is a lot of students don't practice, right? Camp people, yeah. A lot of people are also looking at you. And if you're nervous about it, yeah, you only practice once. Don't practice once. I practiced a bunch of times when I was doing that. And I think it was mostly because my father said, do it again, and then do it again, and then do it again. And it seems silly, and you're like, oh, I don't want to do this. Even as an adult, I don't want to practice again and again and again. And I do, though. For really important speeches or presentations, I will practice many times. And I feel... And it helps me with my content. It helps me with my body actions, and it helps me with my voice because when I practice out loud by myself or with a few people, I see what works and what doesn't work. And then I'm more confident. I feel better about what I'm saying and how I'm saying it, that I stop being self-conscious, and I stop thinking, oh, is this going to be good? Because I know it's good. And so if you practice more than once, it will get easier the more you practice. And I know nobody wants to practice, but it's really, really the number one thing to help you get better, right? And when you're practicing, it also helps you a lot, because with here, let me use a different color. When you're practicing, especially, I find it helps you with your body language, because a lot of students like, oh yeah, I wrote it down. Then when you get up there, you don't know what to do with your body. I know everybody hates practicing. Well, yeah, or don't like or hate, whatever. It doesn't matter. Nobody likes doing it. I don't like doing it. And it was my job in China for 3 years, just doing presentations. I wasn't a regular teacher. I was just doing presentations. And I only did part-time, body expressions, body language. When you practice, you realize what you can do with your body, because you realize that you're just standing there. And that's why I also tell people, have your phone, or if you don't have a phone, your parents' phone, record yourself. And I know nobody likes recording themselves and watching themselves. I find it weird watching myself on the camera right now. I tend to look at me in the camera instead of looking at you in the camera, right? I can't actually see you, but that's okay. And if you practice, you see yourself, you'll go, oh, I'm just standing there. I should do something. And that is part of the idea of how to improve. And then once you do that, once you feel that you've improved, yeah, you see me. Yeah, I know you do. That's the idea. Once you improve something, then you become less shy, because you know it's better. If you know it's good, if you're good at something, you're more confident, right? And that's a big part of this, is being confident. So to be confident, you should know what you practice, right? Practice, 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 practice. So with this one, and I'll send this to you, okay? Action stories with children. It's a very good examples. Now there's some written work and stuff like that. That's not the important stuff, I think, for a lot of it. It's the later on it gets to more action stories. And here it has a bunch of examples on two sides there of different stories that are very easy to act out. So the first one is called Silence. And I did a video on this with actions on my recorded videos. And so it's silence. Now the reading says here, this one, don't shout. I can't read backwards because it's all backwards to me. Don't shout. Don't stamp your feet. Don't talk to your friends. Don't clap your hands. Don't play. Be quiet. Now, that's very interesting, because those are all something you can show with your body, right? And so don't shout. So I'm using my hands to shout, right? Don't stamp your feet. You can stand up and stamp your feet when you're doing this. Don't talk to your friends. Right? You can do those actions. Don't clap your hands, right? Don't play, right? And be quiet. So you're easily thinking about some gestures and body language that you can use with your body, right? And that's the idea of these, is to practice some easy stuff. And once you get comfortable with the easy stuff, and then you have a presentation and you go, oh, I could, when you practice, you can, I'm just standing still. Why don't I include something? Well, what's easy to do? Well, this gives you a lot of ideas, I think. And so you get up and you start acting out your different actions. Right? I'm marching. Oh, what's over there? And things like that. People like, oh, over on the other side. They just stand still when they're saying a moving action. Why don't they point? That's an easy action. Because again, Our body language when we're doing a presentation is not for you. It's for the audience. Everything you do in a presentation is for the audience, right? And so your body language is to keep their eyes interested. People get bored during a presentation. I've gotten bored during presentations. And how they do it is because your eyes get bored. You can have the best presentation for what you're listening to, but if your eyes are bored, people get bored and their eyes get tired and they stop looking. And when they stop looking, they stop listening. And when they stop listening, they're not thinking about what you said, right? And that's why later on, as I say in my presentation classes, they fall asleep. Yeah, that's also why we also have voice work. We don't want to sound like a robot, unless there's a small purpose to it. But we want to have a voice that's very expressive, has a lot of emotion and feeling, because if you have a boring voice, your ears get bored. And then content, so your brain doesn't get bored. So it's all about making people not bored. All right, so that's why we want to improve, first thing, body language. You need a happy voice. It doesn't always have to be happy. It could be a scary voice or a mean voice or just a voice that's not boring, really. It has to be interesting. That's why I talk about speed, tone, and volume, and it gives emphasis. It gives power to your voice. And we're going to look at that a little bit next. I read a story yesterday just on my stream, and I always like Robert Munch's stories. If you've ever watched Robert Munch tell a story, he has a lot of expression in his story. And how they do that, power, and I'll show that later. Stephanie's ponytail, that's right. How they have powers by changing their speed, changing their tone, changing their volume. And by doing some of those things together, you've read it before. That's good. But how did you read it? Did you just read Stephanie's ponytail? One day, Stephanie went to her mom and said, "None of the kids in my class have a ponytail. I want a nice ponytail coming right out the back." That's really boring, right? You can't really do that because it's the same tone, the same speed, the same volume. And you don't do that in normal life, do you? You change your voice a little bit, right? Right. So we'll look at that. So first actions, we have also here a mystery animal. So in it talks about what the animal looks like, right? So it goes here. I can't roll it. It's got a long tail. It's got a wings. It's got 4 legs. Yeah. It's got a trunk. It's got fur. It's got an enormous head. It's a monster, right? So how would you give actions for those? Well, for me, it's got a long tail. I would show it having a long tail when you're giving your expression. I know when people do a lot of presentations about animals, they never show anything about the animal. They just said, "My favorite animal is a tiger or a lion. It is this and this and this." And they just stand there and talk about it. They don't go, "It's got a long tail, right? A long tail." It seems silly, but your teacher will like it. Don't have to worry about the other students. I know a lot of people always, the worst fear is, what will the other kids in class think? Right? Right. I've seen some pretty terrible speeches when I was a kid growing up. And even as a teacher, I've seen some pretty terrible speeches. I don't remember most of them. You know what ones I remember? The good ones. As a kid, I didn't remember more than a day or two, even really bad ones. There's only one I really remember that was really, 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 really bad. And someone got really nervous, and that student peed themselves. But you know what? Most of the time, if it's anything less than that, nobody cares. I gave a presentation and I said a silly word accidentally instead of the right word. And it was funny. And it was pretty funny. And only like one kid who's kind of a bully, he teased me about it for maybe a week. That was it. And nobody remembered. So it's not that important. Yeah, everybody laughed at the time. And that felt kind of silly. And I felt a little bit, ooh. But it doesn't stay. Nobody remembers these things. I try to, because I give public speeches, but most kids, they don't. That's not what they remember. Yeah, it's good for some laughs. As a teacher, I try and get students to laugh at me a lot. And that's good, because that means they're listening, aren't they? If you do, or looking at least. If you do something silly on purpose, you're expecting them to laugh. So it's great if they laugh, because that means they're listening or watching or thinking about what you're doing. And that's great. And that's why I always go super emotional, I think, is because it keeps people's attention, but it also gets them laughing. When they're laughing, they're participating, right? So a lot of these have a lot of body actions. And for the public speaking kids who watch this later, you have to practice all of these, because when we come back to class, you're going to do them. And so, Maddie, I'm going to also, I keep using your name. Maybe I shouldn't. Only students will watch this, so it doesn't matter. So I want you to practice this when I give it to you. But for everybody who's having public speaking, not here, it should be, I want you to practice all of these, because when you come to class, you're going to be doing them. Right? All right. Yeah, okay, go Havner. That's great. So I'm going to read a story. Doesn't matter if you're here or not, because I want to show, and you can watch it later, because it'll be on the channel. With this, I want to go over voice, so speed, tone, and volume. So Stephanie's Ponytail is a great story. All Robert Munsch stories are pretty good about doing these kinds of things. So with the speed, tone, and volume. And you can look up on YouTube Robert Munsch, okay? And look up him telling stories, okay? So, because he's really good at telling his stories too. And I try and do it the way he did it. And I think that makes a very good example. Now, it's more than you have to do. This is not what you're going to have to do in a presentation. But if you practice it this way with extra feeling, when you go to a regular presentation, you're going to give some feeling. Just even though you're still shy, maybe, that's okay. If you practice up here level, and instead of being down here level of feeling and emotion, you're going to be in the middle. And that's all you need to do, right? So here's a picture of Stephanie's Ponytail, right? So I gotta read it, so it's a little bit hard. So one day, Stephanie went to her mom and said, "None of the kids in my class have a ponytail. I want a nice ponytail coming right out the back." So Stephanie's mom gave her a nice ponytail coming right out the back. See what I do there? I use my voice. I change my speed. I start off fast and I slow down each word. And by doing that, I make you listen, right? And now I'll get to tone a little bit later, and volume later. But with the speeding up and then slowing down really help create a lot of suspense, emotion, listening. That's important, right? Okay, so where are we? Yeah, right at the back. When Stephanie went to school, the other kids looked at her and said, "Ugly, ugly, very ugly." Stephanie said, "It's my ponytail and I like it." Right? So I changed the volume, and again, speed, always changing the speed. Anything that's super important, you can make it last longer or slow it down, right? Volume, again, pick up volume when it needs to be longer, more important. Raise the volume level, okay? And tone, ugly, ugly, right? So we talked about in class with the tone, the 4 different Mandarin Chinese tones. See, Chinese students. The first one is just normal, right? That's just, right? The rising tone is kind of like an exclamation point, right? So this one, you can, surprise, right? Or super feeling. The third one, it can be used in disgust, like, ew, 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 or a question. Okay, so it can be a question, right? And then the last one is usually if you're angry, right? That's not a very good angry face, Calvin. Maybe I'll do the eyebrows first, right? So, in that way, you can have a lot more expressive and feeling. I want you to practice that. I want you to pick a story. You're going to have a story when you come here and read it. You're going to practice this with me, okay? All right. So the next picture. Okay. So then next morning when Stephanie went to school, all the other girls had ponytails coming out the back. See, slow it down at the end, start fast. Stephanie looked at them and said, "You're a bunch of copycats. You just do whatever I do. You don't have a brain in your heads." Right? So again, changing the speed, changing the tone, changing the volume. You don't want to read that here, I'll go back. You don't want to read that like a robot. I know a lot of people, when they're reading and when they're presenting, the next morning when Stephanie went to school, all the other girls had ponytails coming out the back. It's boring. Right? Don't want to be boring. So you have to practice this. It's not a skill that I just had. I practiced it. Like any skill, you can practice it. And so practice, practice, practice. Okay? So again, here's the next picture. Ooh. The kid has a spoon at the... I always like the... Michael I don't know how to... Martechenko. I always liked his art for the books. Right? So the next morning, the mom said, "Stephanie, would you like a ponytail coming out the back?" Stephanie said, "No." "Then that's that," said her mom. "That's the only place you can do ponytails." "No, it's not," said Stephanie. "I want one coming out the side just above my ear." "Very strange," said the mom. "Are you sure that's what you want?" "Yes," said Stephanie. So her mom gave Stephanie a nice ponytail coming right above her ear. Right? Or coming out right above her ear. Wow. So you can hear that I'm really changing the tone, really doing that third tone for "are you sure?" Right? And it's yes, right? It to confirm kind of thing. It's really exaggerating. The third tone's really good for any kind of super expression. Hi, Alex. I'm going to block that other stuff that's all over the place. All right. And so with volume, really, again, changing it. Yes, going up with the volume for special words. Alex, your class starts at what time? 5:45. So, yeah, don't worry. We're going to talk about more your stuff here later on. I'm just doing it for people right now. Yeah. Okay. Well, you're gone, it looks like. All right. So, yeah. So our next page to practice. Right. Oh, sorry, the picture. Oh, no. Right. So, when she went to school, the other kids saw her and said, "Ugly, ugly, very ugly." Stephanie said, "It's my ponytail, and I like it." The next morning, when Stephanie came to school, all the girls, and even some of the boys, had nice ponytails coming out just above their ears. So again, we're practicing the expression of voice, right? Speed, tone, volume, right? And when we're doing this, I can always show the coming out right beside the ear. You can do an action for the ponytail. With the pictures, it's less likely you need body language. Again, we're going to practice. You're going to read out stuff. I'm going to have some stories that you're going to read out. Could be a Robert Munch book. You can read some of this stuff, or we'll do another story. Okay, here's the next one. Okay, so the next morning, the mom said, Stephanie, would you like a ponytail coming out the back? Stephanie said, no. Would you like one coming out the side? No, said Stephanie. And then that's that, said her mom. There is no other place you can do ponytails. Yes, there is, said Stephanie. I want one coming out of the top of my head like a tree. That's very, very strange, said her mom. Are you sure that's what you want? Yes, said Stephanie. You saw this before? Use this book? That's okay. That's good. So you can see how you can give expression, because you need to learn how to give expression too. Right? So here's the next picture. Everybody's pineapple head or tree head. And this is very good, Alex, for you too, is that you're thinking about your voice. So we're also going to practice this, because I think you guys could do this before. Never. Yes. I even had the other day. Where is it? Where's my? Here it is. Oh no. I even had a hairband in the last time I read this story, just to do the different hairstyles, right? And so that's, if I got faster at it and better at it, I would do that if I was giving a presentation reading this book. I would do that. Do you know why? People will look. And that's part of your body that you're expressing, right? And that way you can do something that keeps people looking. And that's part of the idea of giving a presentation, is keep people looking. You want to keep people looking, right? Yes. All right. So her mom gave Stephanie a nice ponytail coming right out of the top of her head like a tree. When Stephanie went to school, the other kids saw her and said, ugly, ugly, very ugly. Stephanie said, it's my ponytail and I like it. See, a lot of time when you're reading a book, you might see it's italicized. That means it's kind of tilted. That means that it should be having higher expression. So Alex, every time you spam right, I can block it. All right. The next day, all the girls and all the boys had ponytails coming right out the top. It looked like a broccoli was growing out of their heads. It kind of does look like broccoli going out of their heads, right? Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. All right. So here's the next picture. Okay. So the next morning, the mom said, Stephanie, would you like a ponytail coming out of the back? Stephanie said, no. Would you like one coming out of the side? No. Would you like one coming out of the top? No. Then that is definitely that, said the mom. There is no other place you can do ponytails. Yes, there is, said Stephanie. I want one coming out of the front and hanging down in front of my nose. Now she's just trolling, I think. But nobody will know if you're coming or going, her mom said. Are you sure that's what you want? Yes, said Stephanie. So her mom gave Stephanie a nice ponytail coming out the front. On the way to school, she bumped into 4 trees, 3 cars, 2 houses, and 1 principal. See what I did with my fingers? You count, right? A lot of people forget to count with stuff with their fingers. Always use your fingers to count something. It's just something that people can look at. And that's all you have to do with your body. That's some of the easiest things. If that's all you do with your body, just count stuff, that's fine, right? That's more than standing still. So you want to use your fingers for counting. When she finally got to her class, the other kids saw her and said, ugly, ugly, very ugly. Stephanie said, it's my ponytail and I like it. Okay. Ooh. Don't have to do it strong as me. It can hurt your voice, I think. All right, the next picture. Okay. So the next day, all the girls and all the boys and even the teacher had ponytails coming out of the front and hanging down in front of their noses. None of them could see where they were going. They bumped into desks and bumped into each other. They bumped into the walls, and by mistake, 3 girls went into the boys' bathroom. Oh, no. All right, that's not good. All right, so you can see her. So Stephanie yelled, you are a bunch of brainless copycats. You just do whatever I do. When I come tomorrow, I am going to have shaved my head. See, it's really important words. It's all in capital letters. It's a lot higher volume. I did it a lot slower. And that way I create this really important feeling, right? And that way it sounds a lot more important. People will listen to it. Right? We'll have a picture here. Oh no, what happened? Oh no, right? So the first person come the next day was a teacher. She had shaved her head and she was bald. The next to come were the boys. They had shaved their heads and they were bald. The next to come were the girls and they had shaved their heads and they were bald. The last person to come was Stephanie, and she had a nice little ponytail coming right out the back. Am I going to be doing this every day? I'm going to be doing regular classes. And so if it's your class, you get priority. But if it's not your class time, it's will be whatever's that regular class time stuff. But yeah, like if you can come during your regular class time, which will be very soon. And I will be doing this every day, yes, for this week. I don't know about next week. We might have regular classes next week. We will see. Okay? All right. So I think she just tricked them all, right? Oh, yeah, they're not happy. This guy is a day behind. This other teacher didn't do anything. They're all not happy with Stephanie. You like my reading? I know. It's really good. Because I use my voice really well. I change my speed. I change my tone. And I change my volume. I don't keep it the same. You have to really exaggerate stuff. Really make it bigger. Good job, Stephanie. That's right. She really trolled them. And that's why I really like reading about out loud to my kids. My kids love listening to me read, and that's why they, I think, like books, is because it's interesting. It's not boring. I know there's a lot of people who don't like reading or listening to somebody read because it's not interesting. And how do you make it interesting? Well, you got to make it fun, right? So you don't read, Stephanie had a ponytail and she decided to have a nice ponytail and she was upset that nobody, but it's not good. You want to change it. If you're not excited, people listening aren't excited. And am I always excited when I'm reading? No, I've read that story a bunch of times. But when I read it, I act like I am, right? I give a lot of feeling and power and emphasis. I change my speed, tone, and volume to make sure. That's really important that you practice that. So if you're doing public speaking, practice reading what you're saying with feeling, not, and I then went to Mexico and it was really fun. It's not really fun if you don't sound like it's fun, right, Alex? Right? If you don't sound like it's fun when you're saying it, it won't be, people listening won't think it's fun. And then they'll get bored. So to review, I have sent this to the younger public speaking students. I can send this. I have a bunch of copies. So Alex, when you come to class, we're going to also do this because it's great for every level. All right. Yeah. And we're going to read out a story with feeling. All right. Yes. I'm surprised too. Yes. You have to do feeling. And you have some more feeling than some others, but you still need to have some feelings. You can't spam messages there, Alex. It just gets blocked. But this comes to my next point, word choice. So with your body, you want words that you can act to. And that comes to word choice. You want things that you can really say with a lot of feeling. That comes to word choice. So both your voice and your body, a lot of it depends on your word choice. You want words that are very expressive or that you can express. So if you noticed in this story and in these actions, there are a lot of word choices that make it easier to act. If you're talking about something and it's not, you don't have any thoughts about how you could change your body, how you could change your voice, change your words and then see if a different word is better suited to giving a better body action or better voice change. So if you're talking about a trip or a person and you can't think of any body actions or you can't think to change your voice, what do? You have to change your words that you pick. So in this, it's pretty easy written story. It doesn't use any special or big words, and yet the body and the voice I can do for it is very expressive. Again, this doesn't have any big words, and I can do a lot of body actions with it. I could even use a lot of voice actions with it. So it doesn't have to be super difficult words to give a lot of feeling. In fact, most of the time, easy words are a good choice if you're going to do body and voice. But you have to remember to do the body and voice actions, right? So you don't need the biggest words. As a teacher in China, I didn't use a lot of big words. It didn't help. For the most part, it actually was bad when I used big words because nobody understood it. And then my body language becomes pointless because nobody knows what I'm doing, right? And so you want a word that everybody understands, unless it's you're teaching a word, then you have to explain the word. That's fine. But when you're giving a word, you have to be able to express that word either by voice, body, or both, right? So with that, 22 subscribers. I don't care. But Alex, you haven't liked my video yet. So for those of you who are watching this video later, you have to practice these actions with words. Okay? When you come to class next, you're going to be doing that. And you have to practice your voice because you will be doing that as well. Okay? So with those two things, how do you get your presentation? What if your presentation's on something like, let's say, you're 23 now, with your dog, with your trip. So if it's an animal, or if it's a place, right? Those are pretty easy, actually, because animals look like something, right? So you have a lot of body actions that you can do with that. You have voices that you can still do. Again, in a regular presentation at school, I said maybe come next week there, Alex, because I'm still not 100% sure. So we'll see. It's still because of the virus. We're still being cautious because as I keep saying to a lot of people, because lots of students from different schools come here, if one person is sick in one school, I'd be possibly getting a whole bunch of schools sick by having students come here, right? And the virus incubation period, when the symptoms don't show, apparently there's some discussion about it still, but apparently you could still be contagious, still spread it. So that's why no classes for these 2 weeks. And after that, we'll see. Okay? But animals, there's a lot of body language with animals, a lot of voice work with animals. So with an animal, your body language would be pretty easy. Yeah, okay, thanks. Because you can show the features, like an elephant, a nose for an animal, big sharp teeth, right? You can do the paws, how it walks, right? How it moves. Those are some easy examples. Tails, right? But voice, if I was doing a snake, I might say my S's longer, so it would sound more snaky, right? Or other things like that. You have to practice and think about these things. So that's why practice, 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 practice. Public speaking, number one thing is practice. And I know nobody likes to do it. I don't know about any strike tomorrow. I haven't read any news about it there, Alex. So I'm not 100% sure. I saw that Ottawa was possibly having a strike, and I looked at other regions. I didn't see York region. I'll look again later. I don't know. It's called the internet. You can look up the news. So place, if you're talking about a place like a trip to Mexico, right? Oh, it's only for high school? Oh, well, okay. If it's a place, again, how does a place? Well, you can do actions about traveling, right? Walking to a place, you can do a walking action in one place. Nobody does that. I went to Mexico. I flew to Mexico, right? I went swimming at the beach in Mexico or whatever, right? And that's important. It might seem silly, but it's all you need. You don't need a lot of action. You need some actions. So apparently 4 people are watching, but not everybody's participating in chat. Is anybody else watching that want to say hi? Oh, somebody came and left. Okay. So for my regular students, for the kids public speaking, you're going to, if you have a story at home, pick a story at home to do voice work to practice. On a regular class, that when you finally come back, I want you to read a story with voice. If you don't have a story, I will have one for you, okay? Robert Munsch's are good books. Some other books like Dogman can be okay, or Captain Underpants, because Captain Underpants is very expressive. Yeah, you're going to tell Cece. That's Cece too. Yeah, we're going to be doing this for the older. You guys, Alex, you're an older kid. Yeah, let her look. Yeah. You like Dogman? Yeah, good. Well, Dogman, I'm not as familiar with the characters anymore, but they have some expressive characters that you could do. But also Captain Underpants, because the tra-la-la, right? Captain Underpants. He's very expressive with the body language and the voice. Right. And so also I'll be giving this, if you haven't already got it, and I think the younger public speaking people, it has mostly pictures. That's okay. Yeah. Hey. But that helps you with the body language sometimes. I have with the younger students already given this. For the older public speaking kids, I will be also giving, and we'll go over this because we need to work on our body language more. Okay. Yeah, 5 people are watching. Yeah, yeah, but not everybody's participating in chat. Right? All right. So those are our public speaking ideas here, okay? if you have any questions for the last couple minutes, please let me know about any specific actions you want to, or any specific voice work, or any specific word choices. There are some words that you don't know if they work or not, and some words work in some presentations and others don't. That's because you need to practice to do it and then try it. If you don't practice, you don't know. And I know, and your teacher knows, when you're doing a presentation, whether you practice or not, they can tell. It's not that hard. They will see you stumble and stutter. They know you haven't practiced, and that hurts your mark. Okay? So practice, practice, practice. That will help you with your voice work. Practice that by changing your speed, changing your tone, changing your volume, your body language, changing your actions, having actions takes practice. Yeah, 3 for oral. The way to improve it, speed, tone, and volume. A lot of girls, especially stereotypically, are quieter. Straight threes, yeah. Yeah. Again, part of the application is body language. Part of the communication is body language. So a lot of your communication, if you want to get a 4, it's all about voice work and body work and word choice, okay? Help people remember it, help you stand out, help you be better. So it sounds like you did okay. 3s are great, but if you want to have the next level up, you have to practice, 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 practice. I didn't always get great marks on my presentations in public school. It's strange, but true. I'm a great presenter, but voice, if I didn't practice, my voice wasn't always good because I would get shy and self-conscious and, I'd have a lot of stumbling, right? Body language. Again, I would sit there and hold my paper, maybe shake a little because I was nervous, because I hadn't practiced. I didn't know it as well, right? Content. Again, if I didn't practice, the content could be bad word choice. And we'll talk about another time, bad organization, right? Bad structure. Those things hurt my body language and my voice, especially if I don't practice. Okay, so practice, practice, practice. So how to improve? Practice. I'm going to say that a lot for these kinds of things, right? Okay. Any other questions? If I knew how, I would put a timestamp in the chat. That way, students know when it's certain times. They can watch for review later. So the time now is 5:42. So the younger kids' public speaking class is now ending, and the older public speaking class will be beginning soon. Now, Alex, thankfully you've watched. I don't know if Cece is going to be coming. Or Arik. I don't know if he's busy with sports stuff. But for our public speaking, we can go over this a little bit. You will be doing the same thing as the younger grades as well, because you need to practice that. But we're also going to talk about a little bit more about the content, okay? So I'm going to be right back, and we'll begin here shortly, okay? If you have any questions, please put it down in the chat. Oof. Oh, hi, Cece. Oh, look at that. Calvin has left the chat. Yeah, 5 people watching now. Yeah. Thanks. How do you know if I'm in the washroom? Can you hear? That's not good if you can. Oh, never mind. All right. So, it doesn't tell me, CC, that you're participating, and yet here you are. You heard oh, that's good. Oh no. I'm gonna have to close the door more later on. I'll show that, but like and subscribe. Sure, whatever. I don't care. I'm not here to get likes and subscribers. Not what I'm doing this for. Doing this because we can't have class in person. So I thought, let's try and keep people educated, right? Yeah. Okay. So for the older kids, Cece and Alex, hi again. Just so we know, it's 5:46 now. Yes, I'm doing this. Yeah, I can't get money on YouTube. I need a lot more subscribers. Like more than 900 more? More. Yeah. No, I don't think I'd be a YouTuber. I don't care. I'm not actually that much of an attention seeker. I'm actually an introvert, to be honest. Oh, well, one's grade 9, one's grade 7. So with this, the older public speaking class, and CC, you didn't weren't in here earlier, and Alex, you've already heard some of this, but that's okay. Alex is old. Okay, grade 9 is old. Oh no. Yeah. So old, Alex. So old. With this, yeah, 18. Yeah, sure. With this, I know it's not the same. I'm going to try and continue having a normal class like this. You guys put in your stuff. I'll try and respond as quickly as possible. There is about a 5-second delay between when you type and when I see it and can respond, I believe. Something about that. That means you failed a lot of grades there, Alex, if you're 18. Oh, okay. It's an inside joke. Kindergarten was the best 5 years of his life, right? So we will have classes like this, hopefully only a short amount of time. Maybe next week we'll be back. Maybe not. I'm not 100% sure yet. This will count as a class because you can review it and you can learn how to do things. Okay, so with this, I will be sending Alex and Cece, I'll be sending this to you as well. Or when we come back to class, we'll have this as well. I have some handouts. Action stories with children. Now, it doesn't matter if it's with children or not. I think this is great either way. Yes, you'd have to do it. Yeah. And it has some easy body language actions. Okay. Right. So it's this second page here and the third page have a lot of easy actions that we're going to practice using our body language actions for. Why? Your child. Hey, sure. I'm a child at heart. It's a terrible looking heart, Calvin. All right. Read some book. Yeah. Oh yeah. Book. Yeah. You have to read some book. Because body language is, I've noticed for you and for Alex, yeah, you don't want to, you have to, is really important, and it's not something you're doing a lot of. I know we've practiced it before, Alex, with you and just Arik when it was just you two and having class. Can I not? No, you have to. Can you? Yes, 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 you can. Eek. Right? So it's important, and we don't have to do tons of, yeah, I know you're going to die. I know it's so hard. I go over this a lot. I don't want to go over it again. You can watch the video earlier about, what was it, half an hour into the stream. It started, I think. Maybe 15 minutes or 20 minutes in. We talk about doing actions with body language. Why? You don't have to do every body language. You need to include some because people's eyes get bored. If you're not moving, you're not doing something, people stop watching. That's why I keep moving during my stream, because I want you to look and not fall asleep. Right? Right. And it's the same with our voice. Again, you can go back and you can listen to me read this book, Stephanie's Ponytail. Yeah, right? And how I do my voice. Okay? So we'll practice reading a story with changing our speed, changing our tone, and changing our volume. Because with that, we can, again, keep people's ears listening. Because that's what we want to do with our body and voice. With body language, body actions, we're keeping people's eyes interested. Voice, we're keeping people's ears interested. And with our content, we're keeping people's brains interested. And I know that's eyes and ears, but it's a little bit different when I'm talking about it, right? Let's try not to spam chat. Try not to. I know you guys are you're being expressive using written body language, right? Yeah, be very afraid. But I wanted to talk also, guys, because our last presentation, CC, Alex, and Arik, if you watch this later, is that we told a lot of stories or ideas, like a trip about a person, and they weren't always very informative. Well, they were informative, but they weren't very interesting, were they? Why? Why do you think they were not very interesting? Tell me in chat really quick. Guys, brush. You're making dumplings. Should I make you teach about dumplings? And you don't know? Should I make you guys teach like how to make dumplings in class? See? Yeah. Maybe. Boring sound. Well, partly it was the voice work, the body language were both boring. So that's two aspects. Weren't very expressive. So you weren't yet using a lot of body language. You weren't expressing your voice. But how did you organize your content? Is who you are. Your mom's asking. I'm your public speaking teacher. She's never met me. Yeah. So hi, I'm the public speaking teacher for CC. Right, and that's a part of it is how we organize our presentation, especially something that's not always very interesting, right? So how you organized your trip, how you organized your talk about a person or a place. So Cece, when you went to China, Alex, when you went to Mexico, your organization really hurt your body language and voice work, right? Only 4 now. I don't know who's the other person watching and goes away and doesn't comment. Doesn't matter, right? When you're looking at your trips, though, guys, are talking about when Art talked about basketball. Again, no body language, no voice work. but partly is that's your content. Were you organized to help those? You have to think about that. So I know when I talk, I like to tell stories. Alex likes to make me say a story, right? And with that is you're telling a story, you can use a plot diagram, right? Right? So, or an essay is two different options. Okay, I better make that a bit clear E. Okay, so when you're doing a presentation, think about a plot diagram or an essay format. Why? Yeah, you like to listen to story. I know you do, but you make me tell stories. That's what I mean. But that keeps you interested, hopefully, if I have an interesting story, because you set it up. And it's the same with your presentation. You set it up. So like reading a book is also like telling your presentation. You could do an essay format, and we'll talk about that next, okay? But with a story, you guys know a plot diagram, right, at school? Okay, so in a plot diagram, you have the beginning here. We don't want it too long. We want it shorter. So you would be telling who's in the story and the setting. So when and where. Right? But then you have an inciting incident really quickly. Again, that can be a hook in an essay, is kind of like that. So you could have the inciting incident even before you can see the border. You can have a hook, right, at the beginning of your presentation. So when you talked about GoPro, no, I'm not using GoPro. It's a different camera. This is what my wife bought. Stream webcam. Has a microphone built in. Just plug it in. So it's pretty easy. I don't think it was very expensive. 1080p. Only 30 frames a second though. So not like a gaming web camera. Maybe if you had a slow game, not like a first-person shooter. But anyway, have a hook at the beginning of your presentation. So when you talked about Mexico or China, what was the most exciting thing? You can lead with that, right? You have, yeah, I've been streaming for an hour and 45 minutes. We made dumplings, right? So when you went to Mexico, start off with describing something to make it like an essay hook, and you're telling about the setting, right? Imagine yourself in a dense jungle, and there in front of you, an ancient temple. And that's my trip to Mexico. So I went to Mexico for my last vacation, and oh, was it amazing, right? You want to sound excited. You want to make it interesting and suspenseful, right? That temple that you went to, even if you didn't think it was super exciting, because maybe you're not interested in it, you have to sound like you're interested in it, right? I know, it's a great job. When I tell the story of my friend Rob, I always like, oh, you know, something stupid's going to happen. When I talk about my friend Rob, I set it up. Oh, something stupid's going to happen, right? So I give you a little bit of hook, right? And I'm introducing character. There I was during the first day of summer break, when I was just done grade 9. So I've set up the where and the when. Me and my twin brother were walking to our friend's house down the road from us when we went through our other friend's, Rob's, place. Now, Rob, he's a special guy. He doesn't always think before he acts. And so he creates a lot of hilarious moments. But when they happen, they're a little bit dangerous sometimes. So there we were walking down the road, and we decided to cut through our friend's place to see how he was doing before we went to our other friend. Not expecting to stay there, but when we saw what he was doing, we knew it was going to be fun. All right. Me and my twin brother saw Rob, our friend. He was looking around. He had his fire pit in his backyard, and he was throwing papers onto his campfire in the backyard. And me and my twin brother wondering, what are you doing? And he says, I'm burning all my school notes from the school year. I'm like, okay. And he said, but the fire's not going very well, so I'm going to get some gas to make it, a bigger fire. Oh, okay. So he comes and he gets his gas can and he starts pouring some gas on the fire. Whoosh, it goes up and then goes back down. Whoosh, again, it goes up and goes back down. But when he does it the second time, the fire starts coming up towards the gas can as he's pouring the gas. And he even realizes danger. Goes, that was close. Okay, one more time, he says. And me and my twin brother look at each other and think, oh no, this is going to end in tears. But we keep our mouths maybe the wrong shut. So he does it one more time, and the fire comes right up into the nozzle, and he goes, oh no! He starts swinging around the gas can, and he throws the gas can onto his yard. Now there's rings of fire around his yard from the gas he's thrown. And the gas can's on its side in the backyard, slowly leaking out gas, and the fire is coming closer to it. He runs over and grabs a gas can, picks it up, starts stomping out the fire as he goes to the garage and says, with hindsight, maybe that wasn't a good idea. I better put this away before anything bad happens. He goes in the garage and comes back, and me and my twin brother are looking, and we say, hey, Rob. He says, yeah? Your chair's on fire. He goes, and he starts putting out his chair. And his chair, it's a fabric chair. It's one of those folding chairs with the cloth cover to hold it in a wooden frame. And he puts it out, but it's black. And it had a yellow fabric and nice light wood, but it's burnt. Is it burnt all over? It's not broken, but it's burnt. He then goes into his garage again, and me and my twin brother are like, what is he doing now? He comes out with an axe. And me and my brother are like, whoa. We won't tell anybody. He's like, no, it's for the chair. I'm like, chair? And he starts cutting up his chair. And we're like, what are you doing? Have you gone crazy? And he's like, no. I'm going to make it look like it broke. And me and my twin brother look at each other again. And we're like, Rob, it's burnt. They're going to notice it's burnt. It doesn't matter if you cut it up. It's still burnt. He's like, no. They'll think it just broke. Like, okay, Rob. So me and my twin brother, that was all the entertainment we needed. We decided to walk down to our other friends. The next day, we decided to do the same thing, the second day of summer break. And why doesn't he use water? Didn't have a lot of time to think, let alone does he ever think, right? So I hope that Rob doesn't see this video. Me and my brother, the second day, we walking down to our friends again. We decided to go through our friend Rob's house yard again as a shortcut, and also to check up to see what had happened from the day before. And we see Rob, he's cleaning some stuff. I did not know banana choco pies are a thing. Okay. And so we see him there, and he looks pretty sad. And we're like, hey, what's up, Rob? And he's like, I'm grounded. We're like, oh, why, Rob? Because we kind of knew it was coming. And he said, My dad got home and he saw the chair in the garage chopped up. And he's like, you burnt the chair and you tried to hide it by chopping it up. Good try, but you're still grounded. Let's get rid of it. Let's burn the rest of it before your mother gets home. And so the father and the son were very similar in a lot of ways. And so the moral or the lesson of the story is be careful when you do something. Think before you act, right? So with telling a story about something that happens, a place that you've been, make it a story, but you got to think about how to organize it. And a lot of people, they don't think about the organization. And by thinking about the organization, you can then think of better words. With those better words, you can think of more body actions, more body language, more gestures. Like I look at my brother, he looks at me, right? And with our voice, we can change our voice because now I've practiced that story before. They're not that good. Oh, okay. I like bananas and chocolate though. Anyway. So with this, I have a hook about the fire and Rob being not that clever, not thinking before he does something. And so that I've also got a theme, just like a real story. I have a theme for my present. Think before you act. So that's kind of the hook. I tell you the character doesn't think before he acts. And so each of these events are about him not thinking and then just doing something, right? And then the climax is he's grounded and he realizes why. I didn't think before I act. And the resolution is just what happens after, right? So you can organize your presentation that way. I'm going to block whatever you sent there, Susie, because I don't understand it. All right. I don't know what that is. All right. So if you're doing essay format, same idea for a presentation. Organize it so it's easier to tell. And when it's easier to tell, you're not thinking so much about the content and whether you're comfortable. You can think now about your body language and your voice. You have time to think about those things. So organize what you're going to do. And as I keep saying, practice how to improve your presentation. How do you improve your presentation? You have to practice it. But when you practice it, you can fix your organization. You can fix your word choice, which will help you with your body language, which will help you with your voice, right? So again, Cece and Alex, you are going to be doing a presentation. You're going to be, one part is you're going to be reading a book. One presentation, you're going to be doing easy action body language with children, action stories with children. So I keep giving an example. I'll do another example here of this. Coronavirus. Oh, okay. That's why we're not having class in person. Coronavirus, right? So I'm just making a note of something. I'm confirming that you're here, both of you. I forgot to do that. All right, so there are a few stories in here about that have different body language that you can practice. Think of what you can do for your body language. So I normally do silence, and I can do that one again. But I also want to do, let's say, there's a few easy ones here, like bad tummy or getting ready are pretty easy. The bee is pretty good, I think. The broken window probably is not too hard. The cowboy. The dream. So all of those are pretty easy. It says the best choice in the banana choco pies, but not the original. You know, actually, a little off topic, Alex will like this, is that the bananas you eat aren't very good. there are different kinds of bananas. Now, no, most Chinese people know that because they eat different bananas than most Western people, white Western people, I find. Because we only eat I believe it's called Cavendish. But there used to be one when my father was a kid called the Mas Grata. Yep. And the Mas Grata banana was a lot better, almost like the texture of durian, if you like that, like creamy and nice to eat. But they're all gone now because of a fungus or disease. But if you ever have banana candy, that's actually what the Mas Grata banana actually tasted like. So the banana candy is not the bananas we eat anymore. It's the one that we can't eat anymore. It would have been really good. Yeah, extinction. Yeah, they're all extinct. Yeah. And that can happen again, actually. Anyway, so you are going to, I'm going to send this to you guys, or we're going to practice it when you come here. In this way, we can look at and do these kinds of activities. We can practice our body language. You're going to practice your voice work in front of me, because I think we need to do a little bit more of that. We've done some practice presentations about using the screen. We've gotten a little bit better about that. We'll go back to that again. Don't worry. Yeah, that's why it tastes so different. Yeah. We'll go over that again. But I think we need to practice some body language and some voice work and make sure that's well. And then you're going to make a presentation, and you've got to improve the body language and voice work from that. Okay? So let me do... let's say bad tummy. So I'll read it out and I'll do some body language while I'm doing it. So, you're hungry. You eat an apple. You eat a banana. You do the actions on. You eat some spaghetti. Right? You eat some pizza. Oh yeah, I like strawberry banana milk. You drink a milkshake. Right? You've got a bad tummy. Right? So you ate too many of the wrong things. So all of these are pretty easy, short stories, but they all have easy body language actions. Yeah, grr. Right? I can't drink milk, so. And again, if you go back to earlier in my video later, you can see me reading Stephanie's Ponytail about the language I use, right? How I express myself. Again, I express myself at this level, and most people express themselves at this level. Do it in the middle. I made a meme. No one. Okay. Okay. Excuse me. All right. But you guys will then, I want you to, after we practice with our voice and body language, you guys are going to make a memoir. Do you guys know what a memoir is? Oh, absolutely no. Calvin. Yeah, see? I know that meme. Aha. So you're going to do a memoir. What's a memoir? Let me know. Lights just flickered. All right. Well, I don't know. I'm very dumb. No, you're not. A memoir is a memory you have that you're making a story. That's all. So when people say, I'm writing my memoirs, that means they're just telling a story from their memory, right? It doesn't have to be 100% real. It should be, but it's not an autobiography. It's very similar to an autobiography. So in that it's about you usually, but it can be changed a little bit. You need to eat. Okay. So with the memoir, and you can come back and read about this or watch it, a memoir is a story you're telling about either your life or something that happened to you to, again, have a theme, to teach a lesson, just like a fable, but it involves you. So that story about my friend Rob, that's kind of a memoir piece. That's just a short one. Yeah, you're having a class where you're going to eat. She was talking about bananas and stuff, and I read about eating food in a bad timing. Maybe she got hungry. Right? So I will be also giving you guys, after we practice, never mind your back. Oh, okay. I will be giving you guys practice with the body language and the voice work, but then I want you to make a memoir. So a lesson you learned in life, a story about your life. So this might take some thinking, right? And so I do have some idea sheets, my life map. So it's about writing a memoir. So you have to brainstorm major events in your life that have a theme, okay? And things are important to you, right? You can draw pictures to help you organize your life. You can give, I have a lot of examples on this page for you. So if it doesn't have to be something you remember, it can just be about you. So your birth, when you were born. Eat, play. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Your first, where you first lived. So your first home if you moved. And what's different about what you learned from there, right? It's all about learning. Something about your family. I've given stories about my family before. Where you went to kindergarten, a special trip, a meaningful object, a time you got hurt, right? Your first bike ride, a very funny event, joining some kind of league or a club, a hospital stay if you had to go to the hospital, your first airplane flight, a day you met someone special or famous, your family pet, your first music concert, right? Your first game you played, something, anything that's whatever is special or important in your life. Okay. So I had my professor talked about how he learned about himself when he went to the hospital one time. I've learned something about my family member teaching me. You realize there, Alex, when you write something in Chinese, I have Google Translate. Yeah, what? No, am I tired of streaming? Nani? Am I tired of streaming? I am a little tired, but that's okay. I do this much normally in class anyway, so I'm not anything different. Are you hungry? No. What? I ate at the start when I started my stream. You can look back at the start of the stream after, and you can see me eating a piece of bread before class time starts. And that's coffee, so it's only 2 hours. People do this. Streamers go all day. Yeah, you did. Yeah, Maddie, you saw me eating. Right? People stream for like 8 hours or more straight. You thought it was a donut, a piece of bread, 2 pieces of bread actually, with some jam. Right? So you guys are going to have to make a life story, but it can't be just, oh, I grew up. Here is where I lived. Here is where I went to school. And this is the things I like to do. Here's a friend. Thank you. That's all about me. No, that's not a memoir. That's just a presentation, a boring one, about your life with red stuff. Raspberry jam is the red stuff. Right? So with a memoir, you're telling a story where you have a theme or learned a lesson or like a fable, like the 3 Little Pigs or Goldilocks or Red Riding Hood, anything like that. But it's about you. Okay? So you have to introduce who, where, and when, a hook, something happened, right? And what are some things that continue to happen. You can't just say, oh, this happened and then it was solved. You can't do that. That's a terrible story, right? Because you have to have some more steps in conflict. So I give a short example. My professor in school, he started off with the lesson he learned. You don't usually do this, but you can. And he said, I learned when I went to the hospital, I learned that I was not a nice person. I was really selfish and uncaring. Oh, good. And how I learned it is how people treated me when I was at my worst. And so that builds some suspense because you're like wondering what's the worst. So he talked about how he had fallen and he had his brain had started to swell because of some bleeding, and he went blind. He couldn't see, and he was pretty young, and he didn't want to show anybody that he wasn't that he was vulnerable and not tough. I thought you were eating dumplings that you made, yeah. And he thought, oh, how am I going to hide this? So he tried to hide while he was in the hospital that he couldn't see. He was pretending he was able to see when he was actually blind because of the brain swelling. And he noticed something. People still treated him well. And he thought, after a while, why aren't they doing this? I would do this. I would do this. So these bad things are, yeah, Alex, you can't cook. He was thinking about why he couldn't, why people were treating him this way when he could have been taken advantage of and he would have done something. And so he looked at himself, said, well, why would I do that? Am I the bad guy? Am I the baddie? And so he thought about how he had not been a good person. And he reflected about himself. Oh, I've been taking advantage of people. I've been treating them poorly. Why? Why am I doing this? When others treat me well, right? You can cook noodles. Oh, wow, noodles. And so he learned that you have to be good to others, not just when they're good to you, but all the time. And being good to others should be the default. And he learned that he was not a good person. And with an, that's really easy, Alex. Actually, we can also do a presentation sometime because procedural writing is about giving instructions, and that's really important for public speaking too, step by step. When we do more about organization, I might make you guys cook something. Okay? Okay. Alex, you keep writing in Chinese. What are you writing? Required. Yeah. So he learned a lesson, and that's the moral of the story, right? That's the theme, that he learned a lesson. So when you guys talk about your memoir, you're going to be showing that you've learned a lesson, okay? And I have some handouts we're going to do on that, okay? So you're going to plan that. You're going to use body language with your presentation. You're going to do voice. That memoir one is going to be focusing a little bit on organization, though, more. But we'll work on our voice and body language that hopefully we can work better on that as well, okay? And now, I do have another thing I wanted to talk about. Is when we use our word choice, we want to, again, show and tell, okay? So, what is this? You guys using your Chinese is really not the best thing. Ha, ha, ha. Okay. Because I might, I don't know how to flag Chinese, but because I'm not supposed to let you use Chinese on here. Okay? No Chinese. Okay? Oh, hang on. So, you guys, can you send me your emails, or I can send you mine. Here, I'll send you my email. That way you can email me. because I want to send you some handouts, okay? Yeah, so there's my email. If you just want to email me, say your name. If your name's not in your email, here. I won't actually show your email there, Alex. I'll just copy it, though, because I want to send you guys some of these handouts, okay? You don't have email? That's... Oh. Bye. Okay, CC. Writing it in English letters doesn't mean you're not writing in Chinese. Right? I kind of, yeah. Because I can still, well, it doesn't actually read it. You nubby. All right. What's required? Yeah, it's required you send me your email. If you don't have an email, I don't care if they see my email. If you send me your email, it doesn't pop up on stream. I can just hide it. Okay, so I'll remove it after, and it won't show up because I delete it. It gets hidden. Only I can see it when you send me your email. For me, that's just my work email. That's not my personal email. So if they want to send me silly stuff, I don't care. So with this, I want to send you guys some of these handouts we've been talking about. Oh, not that one. Action story to children. Okay, that one's in that one. And then some memoir stuff. Okay, so far Alex is the only one. Cece. Well, I'm going to send it by email. So you show me your email here. Put it in the stream, in the chat. It won't pop up for everybody to see. I'll hide it. And then I'll send you an email with the attachments of the action stories one, so you guys can practice. And I'm also going to send you my life map for some ideas about your story for your memoir, okay? Okay, I'll hide that now. Okay, good. So Maddie, you don't have an email? Your school one, like your GAPS, I don't know if I can send anything to that. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to subject presentation handouts. Okay, so it's going to be called presentation handouts. Action stars with children, and then browse computer. Okay, and so here are the handouts for you to practice and work on. Action stories use to practice body language, and then practice reading a story with emphasis to practice voice work. And then also you guys are going to think about memoir, self-story, for presentation ideas in my life. What's it called, the handout? My life map handout. Okay. Who's the fourth person? I don't know. It could be me, but then there's 5 now. So I don't know. Bots. Because if they don't participate in chat, then it doesn't show me. And it doesn't show Alex and Cece in my participants for chat either. I don't know why. Maybe you're not subscribed to me. All right. So I'm going to send you an email, Alex and Cece. Okay. About so again, handouts for you to practice. The first one, action stories with children. You're practicing your body language with these. The first part of it is just instructions. Okay, so this is instructions. On the second page, it has some written work. You don't really need to do that. It's just the later part here and the back here. Okay, that you practice these stories with body language. Then you have to also pick a storybook to read with voice work, okay? And you're also going to get this handout called My Life Map, okay? From that, you can think about ideas for your story that you want to work on for your memoir presentation, a story about something you learned, or a theme about something about your life, okay, that you're going to try and organize into a story kind of diagram idea. I want you to try and include body and voice work. That won't be the main focus for that one, though, okay? You are going to practice when you come to class again next, because I'm going to get you to read that story to me that you've been practicing. I'm going to get you to do one of these action story with children stories. You're going to show me your body language with that, okay? No, yes. Okay, yeah. Sending it right now. Okay. Alex, you sure you typed in your? Oh, never mind. It says it's okay. There we go. No results found for your. Well, that's something. I like Robert. Yeah, Robert Munch is good. Alex, send your email again, because apparently you did something wrong in it. I don't know. It just says there's no results found. Robert Munch is really good. You can watch him present a story that he's made and read on YouTube somewhere, I'm sure. And how he reads it is very much what I try and do. Okay. There. Okay. It worked, Alex. There you go. Great. I don't know what was wrong that last time. Maybe I copied it with a space. I don't know. Okay. So yeah, look up Robert Munch, watch him present a reading of his book. It's really good. It gives you a lot of ideas about how to present voice work with your speed, your tone, and your volume, right? 24 subscribers. Yay, I have a lot more than 24 students, so I don't know. Yes. Shunchi Wang, who are you? I I don't know who this person is. Well. Yeah, it doesn't tell me. Okay. Cat. Everybody loves Kevin. I am Kevin from Friday. Kevin from Friday. Oh, okay. The one that goes to Stonebridge. The good or the bad Kevin? They're all bad Kevins. Yeah, there's only one good Kevin. He doesn't come to my classes anymore. He lives back in China. They're all bad Kevins. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, Alex and Cece. So, you know what you guys got to do for homework? Right? Who's Gang Tao? No yeeting. Alex, Cece, do you know your homework? I sent you an email also, right? He's not Baby Yoda there, Kevin. Yeah, okay, good. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So practice body language, practice your voice work, because you're going to show me an example when you get back here. All right. And then we're going to work on your memoir story. So you should have an idea. You don't have to have it all your idea. I just want you to have the outline, which story or event that you want to do. Think about the theme. Okay. We don't have to have it planned. All right. So who's Gang Zhao? I don't know who that is. Oh, Mason. Okay. Mm. Okay. So yeah, Alex and Cece, you guys are good to go. So you know what you're doing. So when we come back, if you need any other help or anything like that, let me know. Practice that. It's another student there, Kevin, for a different class. Have fun. See you guys, Alex and Cece. Okay. Okay. So I'll be right back, and we'll start the next class here soon. You guys can stay in the chat if you want. I'm going to erase some of this. You're my best student. Oh, are you? I thought the tree was my best student. Ouch. Although Maddie's pretty good because she's been here for hours and she doesn't even have class today. All right, I'll be right back, guys. I gotta get myself another drink. Okay. I'm not eating any Ruffles or anything. You think you know this place again? It's a fast class. No, the class starts at 6:45 for you for the next group there, Kevin. No. Why is 6 afraid of 7? Because 7, 8, 9. Right? I'm Mason. Wait. Who's Gang Tao if Mason is Mason Tang? Mech. Who's Mech? Hi, 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 hi. Is MEC Allen? Okay. So Allen. So we just need. Hang on, I'm just overlooking at my board. Hang on. So we're just looking for Sunny. Yeah, don't spam stuff, Kevin, because I have to just delete it and hide it and stuff like that. So don't spam. Yeah, Bruno's not normally on at this time. And I don't know who Mijaj is. Kevin, stop spamming stuff. Is it Bruno sick? It was a little broken. Okay. All right, guys, nice and chat. So we are going to talk about today, okay, memoirs. Okay, so memoirs. I'm assuming that you guys have gotten these handouts. I think there's 6 of them. Okay. If you watched my video about memoirs, did you guys? Alan, Mason, Kevin? Yeah, I know you're doing memoirs in school. That's why I'm talking about it. To help you with it. Okay? Okay. So you've also gotten these handouts, right? Maybe. What do you mean maybe, Mason? You probably didn't. It actually tells me how long you guys watch my videos and how many watch my videos. So no, I don't believe almost any of you watched it all or did everything. You did watch it, Kevin. Yeah. I can even check, okay? Let me check if you guys done your homework. Analytics. Where's my memoirs one? So, memoirs. 13 people viewed it. The average duration of people watching it is 2.5 minutes. How long do you think the memoir video is? How long is it? And the memoir video is how long? Is 21.5 minutes. The average viewing length is 2.5 minutes. And it's 21.5 minutes long, the memoir video. Yeah, never mind. You actually watched it, Alan? Well, that's good. You might be the only one that's fully watched it. Stop being suspicious. I watched half of it, Kevin. Yeah. I'm watching it now. Well, that's good. Oh. All right. Well, what is a memoir? Really quickly, because you guys should know, is it's a story, right? It is cringy. Thanks. Hey. These are not high valued like production videos. I I was told, hey, do a video on memoirs, and I did it. Right. So it is kind of like a class. Yeah, that laugh. It is a really quick video about that, but it is to help you guys through it. Okay. So to teach about things. Yeah. In there, I talk about this handout, I think first, my life map, is to give you ideas. Because the thing is, what is a memoir? It's a story about you telling a theme or lesson. Okay? So it has to involve you in some way. It doesn't have to be directly you, but it has to be involving you in some way, usually. Either you learn something from this, it's in your community, it's you may not have it. And so it's also a story. It's not an autobiography. What's an autobiography? Autobiography. So bio meaning life, graphy is chart, so story chart kind of thing. And auto is about yourself or automatic, right? It's self. So auto meaning self, actually. So what are you guys spamming? All right, so a self story that is about a memory that you have telling a story. It doesn't have to be just I was born, I grew up, I did this, I did this. That's not a memoir. A memoir is an important story that where you learn something, that you did something. What? Okay. Remove that. Just the lyrics. Yeah, I don't need the lyrics. Yeah, I am reading chat. Because I have to moderate it too. Right? Okay, so if you need guys help with a math test coming up, I can. But you have to tell me what math, okay? So I'm going to talk about memoir for a second, and you say what math you need help with, and I'll do that. Let's not post lyrics like that, Maddie. You don't know what they're meaning. Geometry, angles. Angles. I'm not doing French. I'm sorry. Who's Gang Zhao anyway? Who's the one with the blue person thing? Using only a compass. So an angle only using a compass. All right, hang on. Let me get my ruler. And a compass. Okay. How are you both Gang Zhao and Mason Zhang? Oh, Sunny. Okay. I can't teach French, Sunny. All right. Okay. So first we'll do memoirs, then we're going to talk about geometry, angles, and compasses and stuff like that. Okay, guys? We'll do that, okay? I know who Shun Chi is. I said Gang Zhao is Sunny. Okay? So a memoir is a story about your life, right? It's got to follow a plot diagram, okay? In some way. Okay? So just like a regular plot diagram story, you have different parts, right? Guys? Kevin, Mason, shh. Okay, so in the beginning you have what? Just like a regular story, you're introducing the characters and the setting. So the who, the where, and the when, right? And then you have your inciting incident. Now this is where we're kind of introducing the theme to your memoir, okay? So if it's a story about your life, pick something where you learn something. Something can bad happen, something can, you're introducing the characters and settings, right? That's in the beginning. You could have a hook where the inciting incident is first. That's okay, because that kind of introduces some things sometimes. But when your guys make your story, you're introducing your theme. So what happens that you're doing something and you have to show a theme, a lesson you learned. So I told, you can have a hook. with this theme, you have to have a clear lesson or theme. So think about that first. What is the theme? Because if you don't have a theme to that story you want to tell, it makes the writing that memoir a lot harder, right? Because you have to have several incidents, I remember, in your worksheets. For those that you're doing the worksheets, Kevin, Mason, Alan, that Kevin, stop spamming symbols. Where something happens, right? And all of these have to be events that kind of support the theme, right? Complications, right? Believe in yourself. Sure, that can be a theme. And so maybe the thing that happens here is where you doubt yourself for some reason. And you're continuing to doubt yourself, but then you're slowly learning to overcome that doubt. And then what is the climax? Oh, good. You blocked Kevin. I can't actually block him. I can only block some of the stuff he keeps sending. I'm going to add a moderator here soon. Holy Christmas. Kevin, stop. Yeah, so let's say, Alan, I believe in believing in yourself. So here the theme is you don't believe in yourself. Over time, you have some negative things maybe happen, but then you start having positive things happen. Okay? And then at the climax is where you realize the theme. So you realize that you believe in yourself now. Stop crying, Kevin. It's not funny. So just, a memoir is still like a story from a storybook, but it's about you. And so that way you can realize, and if it's not directly about you, you're involved somehow, and you learn a lesson by someone else doing something. I gave an example about my friend Rob. If you watched the stream earlier, you would have seen it during the presentation class time. In that, it was the first day of summer break in grade 9. I was with my twin brother walking down the road during the day around lunchtime. We were walking down to our friends, and we thought we'd go through our other friends to get there and to see how he's doing. And sure enough, he's in the backyard burning his notes from the school year. And we said, "Hey, Rob, what are you doing?" And now Rob is a guy who doesn't think before he does a lot of things. He just does something without thinking. And so Rob does something without thinking. So that's my theme, right? So from there, Rob decides to, you know what would make this burn better, he says? He goes and gets something from his garage. He comes out with a gas can. So here's the first negative, right? First complication, does something without thinking. So he decides to pour some gas on the fire. Whoosh, it goes up. Oh, that didn't work very well because then it died down. He said, it needs more. Doesn't think why it died down so quickly or what the consequences were. No, he just keeps going. So he pours more gas on there. Flame goes even higher because he poured a lot more gas. And the gas started going up towards the gas can, holding it. And he has to pull back really quickly because the fire almost gets to the nozzle. He says, "Okay, one more time." Okay. So he decided, and me and my twin brother says, "I don't know if that's a good idea." He's like, no, it'll be okay. Just one more. Okay. So he decides to pour the gas on there even more. And sure enough, the flame goes right into the gas can nozzle at the end there, the tube that's where the gas comes out. And he starts swinging it around, and he throws the gas can. There's fire on his backyard lawn all over the place, rings of fire from him swinging it around, right? And the gas can's on the ground, leaking out gas, and the fire's coming up towards it. And he runs over and picks up the gas can, starts stomping at the gas on the fire. He puts it away. Oh, man, that almost got out of control. Me and my brother are shocked, like, almost? I can't imagine for Rob what out of control would be. And so then he comes back out of the garage. He didn't take a look before he put the gas can away if there was any other immediate danger. There was. His chair was on fire, let alone the grass in the yard. His chair was on fire. And so he comes back out, oh my God, puts the fire out on the chair. And from there, he puts it out and he goes back into the garage really quickly. And me and my twin brother are like, now what is he doing? He comes back out with an axe and starts chopping up the chair. We're like, why are you chopping up the chair? Oh, so it looks like it broke. So it doesn't look like I burned it. It's still burnt. No, they'll think it broke. And again, he didn't think before he did something because it clearly looks burnt. Because the fabric on the chair, the cloth on the chair is black and it's supposed to be yellow, right? And it's very easily seen. And so he didn't think. And from that, he went, chopped it up without thinking. Comes back out after he's chopped up the chair. Like, you can't take it back now. The chair's chopped up. It's pieces of wood now. So me and my brother go to my other friend. And the next day, we decide to do the same thing. Go through our friend Rob's backyard to see how he's doing, to then visit our other friend. On our way, we say, hey, Rob, what's going on? He's like, my dad got home, saw the chair. He didn't believe it was not burnt. He knew right away that I tried to cover up burning the chair by chopping it up. So that's the theme. Rob realized his actions didn't work, and me and my twin brother realized that thinking before doing something is important. We saw somebody else, what their actions and consequences were before that. And so wrap it up, he was grounded. And I learned a valuable lesson through somebody else about thinking before doing. Okay? All right. So that story shows the theme, right? Quite clearly. You guys might need a few more steps, right? Think of a story, right? So again, on that handout that I sent you guys has a lot of different examples, right? So then it's all about planning out your examples too. So you can plan out maybe any events that are memorable to you, events that are memorable to others you could do as well, that you learn something from, maybe a teacher, maybe a parent, maybe a family member, maybe somebody in the community or something you saw in the news, right? And then why is it memorable? Why is it memorable? Probably because there's a lesson you learned. That's the easiest one. Great. And then why is it memorable to you? Why is it memorable to the community if you want to do that? That's just a planner. Again, this is how to write a memoir, writing a memoir. Some examples why people do it. You don't have to follow that too much now, I think, if you've already read it. Again, memoir prompts. These are just to help you get ideas. So have you, Mason, Allen, Kevin, have you all thought of your memoir stuff? Guys? Are you there still? Message me if you're there. Hello? I also have this handout about showing, not telling emotions. That's really great for a memoir as well when you're writing. So, all right. So if you guys have watched my memoir video and got those handouts. Hopefully that helped you a lot with that. We can talk about math now, okay? Something wrong with the chat, it looks like. Huh. Because my chat's not even coming up either. Okay. So I don't know what's going on with the chat, guys. That's too bad. All right. Hmm. Hmm. I wonder if I can somehow watch myself. Okay. Here we go. I'm not talking about French, Sonny. I'm not talking about French. Before it echoes. Yeah, I for some reason my guys, my chat has stopped on my screen. Oh, there it goes. I have it up now. Okay, on a different window. I can't I don't know if I can reload while I'm streaming, so I have it popped out now, so it's working again. So for math, okay. So geometry, drawing with this, right? With a compass. I can't talk about French, Sonny, because I can't teach French very well, right? Math. Yes. Okay, that echo. Yeah, it's really weird. If I let it go on, it gets really weird. Live streaming and I'm watching myself live stream because of the delay, it will echo more and more. Je suis Alan. I am Alan. Yeah, okay. So geometry. If you want to draw different angles, right? How do you know what angles are? Well, you have to know a few different kinds of rules. So I don't know what you guys are doing. Right bisector. Yeah, okay. And Sonny's done some of this, I know. If you know certain angles, it helps, right? Because you have to know rules of shapes. So first of all, knowing the rules of different shapes helps you with these compass drawing, right? I'm back. Okay. Thanks, Kevin. All right. So with drawing with a compass, how do you know how far something is? Well, how in the internal angles of a triangle, how many degrees are there? $180, yeah. Okay, so for this, we know this is a right angle, so that's 90 degrees. And let's say these are equal sides in length. Just pretend, I know they're not equal. So if that's 180 and that's 90, what are these two angles then? 45 and 45. Very good, Mason. Yeah. Okay. So that makes that really easy. Okay. But now let's say I have this here. How do I know these angles? Well, let's say, obviously that is Alan. Sorry, Alan. Whoops. Mason left? What do you mean Mason left? Oh, you're doing your good copies for your, well, shoot. I don't know how to unblock. Okay. You can't see Kevin? Okay, good. Well, that's okay. You don't mean 45 degrees Celsius, Alan. And I can't unblock him. I don't know how you unblock. Maybe when you do the next stream. I can put Kevin in a timeout if he gets bad. Okay. Okay. So, well, we know a straight line. What's the degrees of a straight line? Yeah, bisect 60 and 90. Okay. 180. Yeah. So it's 180 here. So yeah, you're bisecting a lot of things. So if I do this, if I bisect, that's what this is. What are these two angles then? See, I put Kevin in a timeout. These two angles, sorry. So what are these two angles for the bisect here? I'll bring it a little bit closer. Yeah, they're 90. All right. So if I know that, if these two are 90, this is 45. What's this angle here then? These two. What about these two here now? 45, right. Because 45, 45, and 90 equals 180, the inside of a triangle. So we're just bisecting. And I can do it again too. Because if I take this and go straight down here, well, I know these are 90 again, and this is 45. So what's that angle? 45, right? So a lot of finding it with a compass, it's just a lot of 1 degree, is bisecting, right? So figuring out, you have to know the rules. What's the interior angle of something? Total. So 180. So let's say I have a square, right? Okay. So how do I know what's this angle? Well, that's easy, right? And how do I know what's this angle? Well, again, that's easy. If I want to figure out this angle or this angle or this angle or this angle or whatever, I'm just still bisecting, right? It's not a very long process. It's quite quick if you have any either right angle, and you're creating a right angle when you bisect something. So that automatically becomes 90 degrees. That becomes a known. Draw you mean a parallelogram with a compass? Well, it's hard to draw on the whiteboard with a compass. Do you mean a parallelogram? Like, let's say this shape. I'm not the greatest artist, so let's say that. Yeah? Okay. So how do I figure out this? Okay. So let's say I want to figure out X and Y angles. How do I figure that out? Well, what's the interior angle total, first of all, of this shape? $360, yes. Okay. So we know that opposite angles, and if I extend out stuff, right, I know that this is 180 because I'm making a straight line, and I know this is 180 if I extend it, right? Here, I'll use another color so it's easier to see when I do other stuff. I know this is 180. And I know this is 180, right? Okay. So if I'm figuring out that, okay, and I know that this is going to be the same as this, just like this is going to be the same as this, right? So that's 180. So I know this and this are going to be the same. I know this, and if I did this, is going to be the same. Okay, so I know these two are the same, and I know these two are the same, right? Because it's still 180. And those are opposite. Yeah. So, sure, okay. But now, how do I figure out the rest? I also blocked you, Kevin, for 300 seconds. I can time you out. Is that grade 8 things? Kind of, Sonny. They're going to be learning what you've been learning. This is good practice for you to remember, too. Yeah, I did, Kevin. Compass. Now, you can use a compass. Right? How do I do it? But I don't actually need the compass. I can just a protractor. Thanks. You guys. You guys. So funny. Ha ha ha. Right? Again, we already know it's 180. How do I do it? Could I bisect it? Yeah, you can. Yes, you can. So you don't know how. Well, because I extended this, or I could go from here to here, right? I could use this one, or I could use the one I extended. We don't have to do that. I can just bisect this, right? Now, what's this angle? The one right here? Well, we're doing math, Kevin, that's why. Why bisect it? Just because we know what the answer is going to be for this angle. 90, that's right. So that means we know this angle and we know this angle, right? If we make these equal, which they are, we've made an isosceles triangle. 60, it's not 60. Yeah, so I already now know this is 45, right? So if, and I made this y, I'll put it bigger here. I now know y is 45, right? This is also y, right? It's 45. It's not 120. It's 45. So this is 45, right? But now what's x? How do we figure out x? Chat's frozen for you, Mason? I've been streaming for more than 3 hours. Maybe that's why. I don't know. It's a lot. Thanks, Kevin. If you have to reload, Mason, do that. That might help your chat. I don't know. Can I restart the stream? Well, you should just restart it. Yours. Just refresh it. So x. What's this x here? Or you could do just from here to here, or here. What's x? This angle here, because that's that's the same as this angle because we're trying to find out the angles of this parallelogram. 135. So how do we figure that out? Well, we know the whole thing is 180, right? And we know this angle is 45. So 180 minus 45 equals, 180 minus 45. That's right. Right? So 135. So that's how you figure out that. Okay? So if you have a parallelogram and you need to figure out the angles, just bisect in the middle there, right? Do you have another shape you need help with? How do we do 137 degrees? Okay, well, again, here, let me like drawing them. Well, okay. So how do you draw them from like drawing them? Okay, so normally you have like a spot you pick for your compass to start out with, right? You have all right, and you would just draw around like this, okay? So straight, yeah. Okay, and then you're doing a semicircle with your compass, right? Compass and a straight edge. Okay. How to get 137 exactly? Okay, so you mean 137 degrees? Exactly? Is that what the question? What is a compass? This is a compass. Can't, yeah. I don't know how to do like 137 specifically. I can do like 90 and 45 really easily. And maybe like other ones that are not like 120 possibly. I thought it was a Minecraft one. No, not a compass like without a protractor. Yeah, okay. So I can do certain ones. So a straight edge. Well, again, bisecting. So draw your semicircle with your compass. Okay, and then you can use your straight edge, your ruler. Let's draw up, straight up from our thing there. Okay, and then we can draw out to that line that we made over there. Because then, what do we make? Well, this distance and this distance, if you use a compass correctly, should be the same distance, right? So now we know that's 90 degrees because we can even measure with a ruler. Now mine's not going to be 100% because I didn't do a rule. I didn't measure. So that's what, 17, and that's not 17, right? So it'd be more out to here, let's say, because my I can't use a compass very well, right? Well, that's terrible, Calvin. All right. So anyway, so here, this might be a little bit more accurate. Okay, so let's say that's more accurate. Okay, so now that we have that, because I use a compass, the distances are the same wherever I go. Okay, so I can pick any spot. Let's say I want to draw a straight edge out to this spot here. Okay. For this one, it's really easy because I just went straight up and I said, okay, it's 90 degrees. That means this is 45 degrees and this is 45 degrees. Okay. But what if I just pick a spot here, out here? Let's say it's, again, like here, because now it's not perfectly 45 degrees. Okay. Okay. Well, how do I figure out the different spots? Did my chat freeze again? I don't know. Oh, no. Okay. I don't know. Okay. So again, bisect. So it's out here. We know it's not 45 degrees because this is not like I know this is supposed to be 90 degrees. Let's take our straight edge and go down to this side. Okay. Oh my God, Calvin. What about what? So what did I create here? I have another triangle, right? Streaming. Yeah, I know. You joined again? Yeah, like I joined another one here. So if I use a compass, it should start creating 45 and 90 degree angles, right? So by bisecting stuff and doing that, I'm going to get 45 and 90 degree angles. Now, this here, I can then do math with later on, right? Because I'm going to know the angle a little bit better. Now, if it's like 137, I don't know how to, off the top of my head, figure out exactly like that. But with 45 and 9 degrees stuff, it's a lot easier, right? So you want to bisect as many things as you can. Dislike peeps. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, Mason, I can count who dislikes me. And they get more homework. Yeah, meanie. Okay. Sonny, you're pretty quiet. Do you need any help with anything specific? I know you like homework. I'm going to be sending you stuff. So you guys can post your email and chat. It won't pop up because I can hide it before it goes through. Okay? And that way, because I don't remember your emails off the top of my head, I can send you practice stuff for this bisecting. Math. Yes, math homework. I'm going to give you math homework. Because you're already working on your memoir stuff, right? Do you have WeChat? I don't have WeChat. You don't have email, Sonny? I thought, well, your mom does. I'm pretty sure your mom does. Yeah, Sonny, I think you sent me your homework, right? Or somebody sent it to me. Yeah, well, my wife has WeChat. Show on a paper. Hang on, I gotta get paper. To draw a square in a parallelogram. So to draw a square in a parallelogram, again, here so I'll send you guys some math work. So again, you're gonna start off with just a straight edge, draw a line. You can measure the line. Let's say it's 5 centimeters, okay? And now, or let's make it more than 5 centimeters. Let's make it 10 centimeters. Just so it's maybe easier to see. Yeah. And then in the middle, I can draw so okay. It's what email did you post there, Mason? Because with all the stars, it automatically blocked it before I could see it. Is that a school one? Because that might do that. Yeah. Because if you post at like Outlook or at Hotmail or something like that, it sends it to me. Yeah. Okay. Don't do this. All right. Hang on then. I'll send you guys emails near the end of the stream. Okay. So you see this? That's a 10 centimeter line. Yeah, I know. Gaps. 34. Okay. Yeah, send a Gmail or something like that. Wait until the end of the stream, so or whatever, okay? Because it might automatically block before I get to look at it if you send your email here. With the email, I'll see it before it shows up on the stream, and then I can block it. Did I draw that? I draw that with a compass, not a protractor. Why? Because I measured it, and then I put my the needle in the center of the line, and then I went to the edge of the line, and I just drew around, right? So that creates, right, 180 degree. Okay. But now I know how big that's going to be, right? At this point, hang on, let me just make the dots bigger so you guys can see. Okay, so I have my center dot, and this is my top of my protractor, right? Okay, so how long this is 5 centimeter, and this is 5 centimeter, this line, total of 10 centimeters. How long is this? I just sent you a text, but you are not feeling good. Only using recommended words. Yeah, 5. That's right, Sonny. So it's 5 centimeters. Right? So now we have that. Okay. So that's the start of any shape we want. Okay? Because then I can connect points here. Let's say I want to connect this. Okay. Or I can make a straight line up to create a square, or I can use this angle for a parallelogram, okay? So I could just do like, let's say here. With a straight edge, you can do 90 degrees. So I have a 5 centimeter line here, and then I can connect it to here. I might be a little bit off because I'm not measuring very carefully. And then I have a square, right? With just a compass and a straight edge, okay? And then I can use this angle for a parallelogram, right? And I'll know the angle because I've made a triangle with a right angle and 2 equal length sides, right? So this side and this side are both 5 centimeters. And I know this is 90 degrees, right? So that means I know these 2 angles, which is just 45 and 45. So then I can just create the rest of my parallelogram by going on the same distance. I can draw the top part. Let's say I want to draw it 10. I'll draw it 10 centimeters. So now I've drawn this 10 centimeters. I just need to hook it up to this point here, and now it's a parallelogram. When will class end? Same as normal time, 7:45. Okay, so again, now with this straight edge, I've drawn a parallelogram. Okay, so with a compass and a straight edge, I've shown that you can draw a square, mathematically sure in your angles, and you've drawn a isosceles triangle, and from that you can extend to draw a parallelogram. Because what is a parallelogram? It's just a square with two isosceles triangles attached, right? No. Je ne peux parlez-vous en français? Oui, mais non. Ça va bien? Comme ci, comme ça? Okay. Yeah. So, is there any other shapes you need to know how to draw with a parallelogram? A square. We did a square. Yeah, okay, Mason. Yeah. We did a square, right? Because they just did 5 centimeters, and I could do 180, or you only have to do 90. So I'm not doing French. What is that? What is what? French. Yeah, French. Oh boy, Sonny. See, I said no French, and yet we're speaking French now. Yeah, you get it now? Because then you can also do like a bunch of these triangles as well. If I go all the way around, I can do 4 triangles, right? If I continue my circle all the way around with this one line, I'll create another square with 4 triangles connecting it, right? Because here, so yeah, because I can connect the 2 points on the square here, or this way, or this way. And let's say I measure my 5 centimeters down, and then I can connect. And I can connect the lines to make a square this way. Yeah, don't say people are stupid in French. I can block that because it comes up as stupid. It's still stupid, and that word is blocked. No, I'm not tired. I do this every day, just not on stream. I teach classes like this all the time. You blocked it yourself? I think I blocked it first because stupid is a flagged word. Yeah. I set up the rules for certain words. You won. Pff. All right. So again, you could continue on from these shapes, just drawing triangles and squares, 45 and 90 degree angles for lots of shapes. You could do it's possible to do octagons and things like that, right? Well, you don't need this until Wednesday. That's okay. Still practice. So I'm going to get ready some homework for you guys about math, okay? So hold on one second while I bring that up. Uh, hmm. Hmm. You already have a package? No, we don't. It's my hint right now. Oh boy, you guys, you should get your act together. Um, okay. No, 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 no. Trying to find a worksheet for you guys that'll be useful and good practice, but I'm not finding really any really quickly here. All right. Hmm. 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 Yeah. So slow. Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm not done finding it. So I'm trying to find an example, guys, but it's not that easy. Um, right now. I'm finding a lot of other stuff where it wants you to use a protractor and things like that. I'm trying to find just with a compass, but I'm not coming up with something. Mm, I know, yeah. Time's up, class over. Yes, class is technically over, but I'm trying to find you something, guys. See, that's more. See, I'm trying to find something that's supposed to be you guys doing in school, right? Because if I give you something that's like high school stuff, or that won't really necessarily help you, it might confuse you. There is, if you want to read, a good website here. That you can go to learn about different shapes with a visual detail for each step. Okay, so it does triangles, squares, pentagons, things like that. Okay, hexagon, how to find each of those. Okay, let's see. This one might be all right. No, that one won't be good. No, that's a quiz. Nope, that's not it either. So take a look at that link to that website again. You already have vids from. Oh, you have vids from your teacher. Okay. Well, then, okay. This is math class. Yeah, kind of math class, right? This one, let's see what this is. Yeah, I don't know. This keeps some weird stuff too. I don't know. Yeah, okay. Sorry, guys. I don't have as many handouts as I thought right now for that. All right, so if you have video from your teacher, that might help as well. Go over that. I sent you that link in chat. That has some good visuals as well, I think. Work on your memoir. You said you're doing your good copy. Mason, you said you were doing your good copy, yeah? What about Alan? Alan, are you doing your good copy? He's joking. No. All right, well, if you're working on your good copy, send it to me if you want. Okay, guys, enough. Send it to me if you want, and then I can take a look at it, okay? So, again, my email. And Sonny, you were working on your this one also, right? You were working on your memoir as well, yeah? You can send me when you're done that as well, something, okay? No, I can check your grammar and stuff. Okay, all right. So that's he's weird. Yeah, okay. So that's it for today, guys. I'll yeah, you can go. So yes, you can go. um, okay, yeah. So work on your memoirs, send it to me. All right, and I'll see you next time. Okay, guys. Bye. Just like now. Oh, Mason, I can see that. Bye bye.